here with Emily Mayhew, and she is a licensed professional counselor and the owner of Harbor of Hope Counseling and Wellness Center. How are you doing, Emily?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks so much for talking with me. I'm really excited to get the word out and let you share with the public all about your organization and your practice and what you do. So maybe we could just start out with you telling us a little bit about what is Harbor of Hope.
Okay, and thank you for having me. I'm really excited about this opportunity.
Yeah.
Harbor of Hope is a Christian counseling and wellness center. I've been a counselor for about 15 years in different places and different formats, but I actually went out on my own last year to start my own company. And so I see a variety of clients beginning at age 4 all the way up through adulthood. I do individual and marriage counseling, and my expertise or focus is really holistic healing. So I'm looking at the whole body, body, mind, spirit, emotions, all of that together. So I tend to attract a lot of clients that are into natural kinds of methods, or maybe they're trying to get off medication or they don't want to use medication. So we look at things like diet, nutrition, exercise, their spiritual life, all those different components together.
Yes. That's really neat that you take a holistic approach to it. What made you decide to open your own practice? What was it that inspired you or led you to do this?
Well, I really believe that it was a calling. I never really expected to own my own business. It wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to do when I set out on my career path, but God placed this vision on my heart several years ago to have a Christian wellness center. And about a year ago, I got the opportunity to do that. So I just took a leap of faith and I stepped out and did it.
Yes, I hope it's going well. And with the pandemic, unfortunately, that slowed a lot of things down, but are you making adjustments? Do you have ways of seeing your patients virtually?
Yes, I actually offer telehealth, secure telehealth through a medical portal for anyone that is not comfortable coming into the office or just wants that convenience to do it from home. And I was able to celebrate my 1-year anniversary during the middle of the pandemic, so I'm still open and thriving. So that was a success.
Good, that's excellent. And you are in Rowlett. And
right.
I've been to your place. It's really pretty. And tell us how you ended up settling in Rowlett at your specific location for that city.
Well, I've lived in Rowlett for 20 plus years, and I've just always had a heart for the Rowlett Rockwall community. And I just knew that when I was going to go back to school to get my LPC, that this is where I was supposed to be. And I went to Dallas to do my internship, but I always knew that I wanted to be back here when I was fully licensed. And so I started with a different counseling center here in Rowlett several years ago. And then last year when the opportunity arose, I got to stay here, and I actually got to stay in the same building where I was even before I had my own company. So that was a great, easy transition. I didn't have to move any furniture, and all my clients knew where I was.
Yeah, definitely. That is wonderful. I'm glad that worked out like that. Well, for your customers and your clients, what would they say that they love the most about you and your practice?
Well, most of the feedback that I get is people tell me that I'm very approachable, very friendly, just a safe person to talk to. And one of the best compliments that I got was a client that told me that every time she leaves here, she feels like she has more hope. And that's my goal, is just to provide that hope for people who are hurting or, going through a difficult time in life, because there's always hope. And so I'm glad to be that for our community.
Yes. Well, tell me, if you don't mind, elaborate a little bit more about the types of counseling that you offer the clients, because you mentioned from childhood on up. And are there different areas, for example, for adolescents or adults that you specialize in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I tend to get a lot of clients that are dealing with trauma. I do a lot of grief counseling, anxiety, depression, and then I also really enjoy doing people who are in life transition. So maybe maybe they've been a stay-at-home mom and they're ready to go back into the career field, or maybe they've just decided that they want to change careers, or maybe it's a young teenager who's not really sure what they want to do with their life. Just really helping people find their purpose and their identity and how they can make a difference in the world. And I do lots of different kinds of counseling. I do cognitive behavioral therapy is my main kind, but I also do a lot of creative and expressive arts with those little kids, play therapy, bibliotherapy, which is using like books, and even some music therapy. So traditionally, I do traditional talk therapy, but we also get up and move around a lot and do creative things for those clients that are interested in that kind of therapy.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you also do premarital counseling or marriage counseling?
Yes, I do both. I'm actually a provider with Together in Texas, which if you do your pre-marriage counseling with me, you get a discount on your marriage certificate. So that's a nice benefit.
Nice perk. Yeah.
And I also do a lot of marriage counseling too.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to ask you, a lot of people have said that during the pandemic, with people being home and isolated, that we as a country are seeing more depression and anxiety. What have you observed during this time? Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, it's really interesting because in the beginning, my current clients actually were less stressed, not working as much, not having all of the activities for children after school and on the weekends. So at the beginning, the mental health actually seemed to be improving. But I think the longer that this goes on and the more people are at home, not able to get out as much, I am starting to see a lot more people who are stressed or need a change of environment, need some new ideas of how to cope in healthy ways. So yes, I am experiencing that now even more so than at the beginning.
Yes. I think a lot of people view counseling as something that you only need if you are in crisis or in trouble. But I would argue that it's something that is needed for even when you're healthy and things are going well. It's always beneficial. You want to speak to that a little bit?
Right, yes. And really the most successful people in our world are people who have gone through counseling. Counseling is just a great way to get to know yourself better, to get to know your strengths and your weaknesses, to set goals, and to become a more healthy individual. So I definitely agree that counseling is not just for people in crisis, it can be for everybody.
Yeah. What are some of the ways that you motivate and encourage your clients? I love what you said about your former client saying that she always left with hope and that you instilled that in her. What are some other ways that you motivate and encourage?
Yeah, well, I definitely encourage my clients to focus on positive thinking, to focus on things that they can be grateful for, the blessings in their life. And then, I do encourage them to do all of those areas, like to exercise. That's great for mental health, and it gives you motivation,
Yeah.
To make sure that you're eating healthily, all of those different things. And I try to practice them myself. And those are the things that encourage me, and I believe encourage all of us.
Yes, absolutely. And you and I share that fitness background as well, having both been a fitness instructor and you doing yoga, which kind of goes along in line with the mindfulness and the overall holistic approach, which is really neat. And right. I know that exercise is key to managing your health and your stress. So I think it's neat that you look at that from all facets. And so locally, what you've seen in our community, et cetera, do you have any comments or opinions on things that people can do right now with everything going on? Say they're not coming to counseling, they're just managing from home. Do you have some more, elaborate a little bit on the practical points that you shared with ways that they can self-care?
Okay. Well, I definitely encourage people to increase their faith, and I personally am a Christian counselor. So, things like prayer and continuing to stay in contact with your faith community, even if it's just virtually, all of those systems support things, reaching out to people. We can tend to isolate in times of crisis, but it's really important if you're starting to feel, depressed or sad, that you reach out to friends or family members and connect with someone around you. And if you don't have anyone locally, then there are mental health professionals in the area that would be happy to help. I would be happy to help with that as well. And then just healthy coping skills. I encourage people to get off of the TV, turn off the news, get outside in nature, have fun, get back to basics, because all of those basic things, being outdoors, exercising, those are good mental health things. Also, journaling is a great way to, express what you're feeling during this time and maybe get some deeper insights as to what you can do to make the world a better place, even if you're stuck at home right now.
I love that. That's good. And so tell us a little bit about where you are located in Rowlett.
Okay. I am in a prime location on Main Street, on the corner of Main Street and Rowlett Road. And so we're very convenient to George Bush, to 30, and even to the DART train. It's right behind my office. So a very convenient location and easy in, easy out.
Yes. Do you have some favorite places to go locally, some local businesses that you and your family enjoy going to eat out when things are normal, rather, or to shop?
Right. Well, we love to go to the downtown Rockwall area, just all of the cute little stores down there. And actually, downtown Rowlett is starting to grow in that area as well. We're starting to get some new little shops coming in. So my daughter and I like to do that. I'm thinking right now of Candles by Carol in Rockwall. We just went there the other day. That's a cute little store. And then as far as restaurants, one of my favorites is Christina's, which is in Garland, but it's close at Firewall. And then my family loves Snuffers and Joe Willie's, which aren't very healthy, but they're really good.
Do you have any specials going on right now?
Yes, actually, if they mention that they saw this program, then I will give them a free 30-minute consultation. Okay. And that's a great deal. So all they have to do is say that they saw me talking to you, and I'll be happy to share that with them.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a great deal. Well, that's great, Emily. I think you do wonderful work. I think it's very valuable for a lot of people to get the help that they need. And I love your name of your business and your practice, Harbor of Hope. I love that. I think that's very inspiring and encouraging. And so I hope everybody watching this will be encouraged to reach out for themselves or for a loved one if they need to get some counseling and some help.
Yes, I hope so too. You know, when I chose that name last year, I did not realize how much hope we were going to need in 2020. And I think hope is definitely a big need right now, you know, and so I'm just one person here providing that to our community, and there's always hope. So don't ever give up.
Yeah.
It's going to get better.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Emily, for meeting with me, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Julie.